Hi, everybody, and welcome to my lovely Leos. Thanks for joining me today. And this is your reading for the 1st of April through to the 15th of April. Now, the cards are all laid out for you here, and we're going to do them through in sections. So we're just going to take 3 at a time. Now, I'm always seeming to be putting my hands everywhere and getting the cards all mixed up, so I'm going to try and not do that quite as much. Now, the cards that are on the table here are the ones that have popped out for you when I've been shuffling the cards, or it's cards that I have been drawn to and pulled out of the pack. Now, the cards here are all having their own energy and their own meanings behind them. So my role here is to interpret the cards and the links between them for your reading for the next 2 weeks. All right. Now, again, this is a general reading, so it may not relate to every single Leo out there, but hopefully there is a message in here that's just for you. Now, again, this is seen as entertainment on YouTube and on most internet sites. So please be aware that this is something that may not be relevant to you. And please take it as the entertainment that it's meant to be. All right. So let's get started. Now we've got the King of Cups in reverse, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, and the Moon card also in reverse. Now, has there been someone with the King of Cups in reverse here? Has there been someone that has pulled away from you in the past or the recent past? And it could be that the whole scenario that's going on here is quite strongly in your mind. So this may not be everything that's happening in the past couple of weeks, but it could be something that maybe you're thinking about and mulling over. Now, has someone pulled away from you? And have you had a similar effect within your life? Have both of you closed off to other people? And in speaking of yourself here, have you maybe felt that there seems to be a pattern? And you're looking to find out what this pattern is. And it could be that you go into a space where you're just examining things that's happened between you and this other person again and again and again. And you're so caught up in your own mind over what's happened that are you maybe closing yourself off a little bit? Do you maybe not trust yourself? Do you maybe feel that if you were to get into a vulnerable position that, you would lose control of your emotions, that you don't know how you would react around other people. And it could be that, you're so disappointed by this outcome that, you begin to feel very low and possibly even a bit depressed, because you're going over and over something that has had a negative effect on your life, and that's just going to put you on a downward spiral. Now, with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse here, has that downward spiral affected both you, your surroundings, and, your financial status? All the basic and important things in life. Because it's already affecting your social life and, how you view things, how you think about things. But is it also affecting how you treat yourself, how you view yourself? Do you maybe not take as much interest in how you look, or how the room that you're sitting in looks? Do you know where everything is? But if someone else was to walk in, they would view it as maybe a mess or something that was extremely disorganised. But for you, you know where everything is. Or it could be that, you just don't care about those things at the moment because you're on this downward spiral. And because of that, you could be going out and possibly buying things and not using your money appropriately, because are you maybe using your finances to pick you up a little bit, to give you that brief little bit of happiness? And with all of this thinking, have you maybe got to grips with some of the reasons of why things maybe happened the way that they did? All of this time going round and round in circles in your mind about who said what, did what. Are all of the knots in the knitting beginning to come untangled? And it could be that you are losing sleep over this, that, you may have moments where, you're feeling low and, your behaviour and emotions might get a little bit out of control. And you may give in a little bit to this low feeling, this downward spiral. And it could be that, the shadows of your personality do come to life a little bit. But this is a time where things are really not going well. You've been down to the lowest point. All right, now let's move on to the next 3 cards here. Okay, now we've got the Lovers in reverse. We have the Hierophant in reverse, and the 6 of Cups also in reverse. Now, has the person, the partner, or the loved one, the person that you had your sights set on, when they closed themselves off to you, Was it possibly because, were you maybe a little bit obsessed with them? Could you not get them out of your mind? Was it possible that, when they were talking to other people, did you maybe become just a tad jealous? And you didn't want them to spend time with others, but maybe a little bit more time with you. You wanted all of their attention. And that could have caused, arguments. It could have made them feel uncomfortable or a little bit pressured. And that could have made them want to pull back. So there's an imbalance there of, the emotions involved. One person likes the other more. And it could be that because of the way this reading is going, that it was yourself that was more enamoured or, in like of the other person. And your shadow side definitely could have become out of control because you can't seem to stop thinking about this person. And it drives you crazy when they want to spend time with someone else. But the thing is the next card here is the Hierophant. Now, are you having to, or were you restricting yourself? Did you have to pull back? Because the person had said that, they felt uncomfortable, they felt pressured. So could it be that with those feelings for the other person that you felt you had to pull away? That you've maybe went from 0 to 100 within a very short space of time, so you've went to extremes. And that isn't something that anyone could, sustain for a long period of time. So it could be that you have realised yourself that things have went a bit far, that possibly the love that you intended or the care that you intended has flipped over to the other side. That the like or, the want to be with this person, the obsession to be there and the jealousy has swiftly brought, your intentions between each other to a very quick halt. And because this may have burned hot for a very brief time, has this caused you to look at the experience with rose-tinted glasses? And is it possible that how you view things were not as clear as what they actually were? Because there is a picture here of one person liking the other a little bit more. So was it possible that this person didn't feel the same? And you had your rosy goggles on and they were going along for the ride. So it could be that there was a little bit of manipulation here. And that could have been from both sides because, you wanted this person in your life, possibly to the point where, you were obsessed and possibly, putting pressure, whether it was meant or not, onto their relationship. And it could be from the other side that they just wanted, a light-hearted moment without being caught up in anything which would take a long-term relationship. All right, let's move down to the next set of cards here. And we have the Ten of Cups, the Six of Wands in reverse, and the Five of Swords in reverse. Now, did you want a relationship with this person? Did you maybe look into their eyes and see happy families? A white picket fence, children, and long lasting love? Is that where the pressure came from? Is that the extreme that's shown in the cards? And possibly why you still have rose tinted goggles here? Was this person your sanctuary? Were they your happy place? And you felt that there was such promise in this relationship before they pulled back and began to close themselves off, which kicked off all of this. And everything that happened in between, you pulled away from people. You began to curl into a ball, emotionally, mentally, physically. And there was such disappointment that all of these hopes and dreams did not come to pass. And this is something that would have played out in a very public way, because people would have noticed how you were feeling and how they were feeling, and they would have noticed what you hoped for this relationship. And they would also have noticed the demise that came once it was realised that all of these hopes and dreams were not going to happen. Now, there could also be something which you may not have been proud of that happened during this time. Could it be that your emotions got the best of you? That you allowed your shadow side out? That you lost control of your intentions because you were so caught up in how you felt about this person? Do you feel that when you received the rejection from this person that, it was very well known very quickly and was watched with eagerness by the people round about you, your social group. So it was really humiliating that it worked out the way that it did, because a lot of people took notice. But could there have been also a point within this where you stepped over a line? Something that, maybe in looking back, you wish you really hadn't done. Something that other people look at you and think there's disappointment in their eyes because they didn't expect you to behave in that way. And that view that your behaviour was over the line or, off in some way continues in the Five of Swords in reversed here. Because both of these cards are about dishonour, about doing something that under normal circumstances you may not have done, something that was socially and morally seen as the wrong thing to do. And in doing that, in order to gain this idyllic picture of a relationship, have you lost a lot more than you gained? Because you lost the person. You lost your sense of self. You lost control emotionally. You lost the relationship. And you've pulled in towards yourself, so you've lost your social group as well. So you really have taken 2 steps forward and about 10 steps back in this whole experience. Now, the next 3 cards that we have here is the 3 of Wands in reverse, the 9 of Pentacles in reverse, and the Page of Cups. Now, has everything that happened and all the, the negativity of these 2 cards here got to you? Because do you feel that you can never gain back the good grace of the people that you would have socialised with? And with the 3 of Pentacles in reverse here, do you also feel that you've really missed out on a good relationship? And the whole experience turned out to be something that did not go well, that you made decision after decision in error, that you let your dark side take over. And you could also be questioning, your judgment in all of this, and be very discouraged to try it again because of the negative way in which this experience has gone. So with the 9 of Pentacles in reverse here, you really may not want to go through that experience again. Have you gone to the extreme of saying never again? Not doing it? Look how badly it worked out the last time. I really question my judgment in the whole thing. So it could be that, you are not going to get back on the horse. That's how you feel at this moment in time. Now, is it because that you're aware that you're vulnerable in, an intimate relationship, or a relationship that you would like to become intimate, in a loving, romantic relationship? Do you maybe realise that, your shadow side, or, your wants and needs can take over, and very quickly what you expect or want from a relationship can just grow arms and legs? And, because of the doubt of your bad judgment here in the past and your actions, you're maybe not wanting to follow through should any opportunity come to you again, because you really do question your judgment, and you feel that anything you get into would just be on a whole different level from what the other person was expecting. And that could just make you go down this whole road again, this whole downward spiral that you're managing to very gradually come out of. So this is a person that holds their heart on their sleeve, that is very vulnerable to how other people react to them. And they jump in with both feet and expect a lot more than they usually get in return. Now, this has been a roller coaster ride. And this has been you going down into the depths. This is your trough. And you've been there for a long time, because this whole reading is about this negative experience. But the thing is that you are coming out the other side, because you are able to understand what happened, understand why people reacted to you in that way, understand that the reason that things happen were because of the decisions that you made, and the effect that it had on you and people round about you. And it's led you to understand your extreme vulnerabilities. So this may not have been a good experience, but this is something that you have gained a lot from. You have learned about yourself. You have learned that, yes, you have your vulnerabilities, but you also have the strength to come out the other side and be a more knowledgeable person for the experience. All right. Now, this is your trough. Get ready to head towards the peak, because you've done the downward hill. So it's time to start to climb. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Now, please take care, Leo, And I would believe that these are all thoughts that are going through your mind at this time. But it's also the realization of what you've been through and that things are about to change. All right then, I'm going to leave you there. Take care. See you next time. Bye, Leo.